Until one has loved an animal. क्या हुआ कुछ हुआ? All good now?
You know, sorry. Well, currently I'm offering two. Is it okay? I'm sorry, I'm not getting that.
Say it some other language. You can introduce Hindi.
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
हाँ ले लो कोई बात नहीं. पानी ले लो.
Sorry.
कोई नहीं.
उसको क्या बोलते हैं? That's a very interesting question. Tantrum. नौटंकी को क्या बोलते हैं?
हाँ नौटंकी बोलते हैं.
नौटंकी बोल दूँ मैं? नौटंकी बोल दूँ? I were an animal, or what I think is there are
I never thought like that you could be an.
Of course. थोड़ा सा टाइम चाहिए मुझे.
minutes हो गए. Shall we close this?
हाँ.
Okay.
नहीं वो मेरा बीच में जो कटता है वो सब कुछ का मिला के बोल रहा हूँ जो मैंने टाइम वेस्ट किया बीच में.
Until one has loved an animal, one's soul doesn't awaken. Hello and welcome to Rashi Foundation. We are super excited to have Arun Shivakumar. He's a professional, a dog behaviorist, an entrepreneur. And you know there are two worlds. एक तरफ तो वो घी बना रहे और दूसरी तरफ वो जानवरों का ध्यान रख रहे हैं. And there's another world to him where he's actually treating patients, you know, with depression and loneliness. Arun, आपका बहुत स्वागत है.
Thank you so much. I am very excited to be a part of your journey.
So, Arun, to start with, I would want you to share how you got into this. You know, you're a professional working in a corporate. आप बताओ सबको अपने बारे में.
So I basically belong to Bangalore. And I moved to Delhi for my profession. And I had two pugs at that particular time. Whenever we used to go to Bangalore for our vacation, we never had any boarding at that time. It was way back in 2009. And every time we used to fly them or take them on train. But at that time, you know, we thought it would be better if we can start boarding and try helping, you know, humans. That's when actually we started the boarding. That's where all these animal journeys started with us. Now, of course, there are several boardings, good boardings. But at that time, we wanted to start and help stray dogs with whatever we earn, and also the pet parents. That's how we started the pet home boarding, and gradually we have all larger animals along with our dogs right now.
Okay, I want to tell all my viewers, he's running this brand called the Healing Hooves, where he's actually helping people heal themselves with horses and cows. Arun, I want you to tell all our listeners and viewers about it. I mean, how can they reach out to you for this? What are the different therapies you're offering? Let's hear.
So Healing Hooves, we recently have started this concept, and this is something which is a personal experience I had, and that's how I am trying to convey to all mankind, where they can have the benefits with all the animals. And this having interaction with the animals is not a new concept which I have been inventing it or discovering it. This is a very old culture, and it's been with us since thousands of years. Back in days, every family, every house, they used to have one or the other animal, either dog, horse, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep. You just, think back, and every human from the family, they always used to start their day with a daily ritual. And the rituals were working with animals. Maybe, walking the dogs in the field, or cleaning the stable of the cow, bathing them, feeding them, brushing them. All these, it's a ritual, a daily ritual. In this process, they literally used to talk with the animals. And in turn, they used to get the unconditional love from every animal they used to have. So with this note, they used to be in the happy area of the mind. And when they are in the happy area of the mind, they take the same, vibration to their work. Whatever they used to work, they used to go with the same vibration. And the entire day, they were stress-free. There might be some kind of work pressure or whatsoever. By the time they complete their job and then come back, animal would be also, waiting for the humans. And when the humans comes back, they get the warm welcome from animals. So with that note, they have those happy hormones, boosting, and the stress hormones getting down. And this is by design happening in the nature since thousands of years. And with that note, the humans would go back to their sleep with a strong energy and then start their very next day with a very high energy with the same happiness mode. But this is something which we have forgotten in today's competitive world and stressed world. So I'm trying to reintroduce this concept at our farm so that every human being can, be benefited out of this healing hooves therapy. I'm trying to convert our farm into a therapy farm.
This is a great takeaway. सबके घरों में ये लड़ाई होती है कि सुबह उठ के पेट को बाहर कौन ले जाएगा. So they hire, dog walkers. And this is a very commercialized concept in the Delhi NCR and all the metropolitans that a dog walker आएगा और वो आपके dog को बाहर ले जाएगा. Now this is a great takeaway that has come from Arun because he's a dog, he understands dog behaviors and patterns. He's saying that it's a morning ritual to take your pet out for a walk. So आज से I think हम सबको ये promise करना चाहिए that if you're a pet parent, you make it a point to take your dog for a walk in the morning to actually help yourself, not the dog. This is wonderful what you have just told me, and I can actually relate to it. Okay, now we've spoken about the dogs. You have horses. How did you get into it? Because understanding the pattern of a horse, like how when we came to your farm, you were like so particular that don't stand at the back, So, did you train yourself for it, and how did you manage? Let's hear.
Yes, I did train myself. Initially, we started with our dogs. So my partner and I, we both are hardcore animal lovers. And we understood this after our marriage. So that is actually helping us to run this entire show. And horses and cows, they came into our life unplanned. After horses and cows came into our life, I started researching and I started to learn about them with many articles, and I did my own research and studied many things about them on how to keep them happy, safe, and healthy. So I understood about their romaine system, in their digestion system, how their digestion system works, and what kind of food they need and what kind of exercises they need to keep them very happy and fit. That's how actually made me to get into this complete world and understood an entire system. And then I researched their feed, everything on my own. And now they're actually happy, and they're very happy to have their food, whatever I give, because that's a different kind of food what I give compared to other commercial sectors. So they are very happy and they're fit and fine.
Okay, so talking about healing hooves, where you are treating patients who are going through bad phases or maybe they are lonely, what is the workshop? What are the therapies like? Tell us about that.
Well, currently we are offering two kinds of therapy session. One is horse bonding session, and the other one is cow cuddling. Bonding with the horse, there are two different kinds of aspects altogether. So bonding with horse, you yourself will be improving your personality. How? There are several humans who doesn't want to talk to an introvert basically, and they don't want to talk to other humans, or they're unable to express themselves. But here, with animals, because they give one unconditional love and they don't expect anything from you, and they don't talk back to you verbally. Of course, they do all non-verbal body languages, but they are not verbal. So because of that will help you to vent out your all frustration, stress in front of them. And they are the ones who will help you to vent out all these frustration. So when you're around with horses especially, you learn many things. Like you learn how to build the trust. If you specifically have any kind of trust issues with humans, you will learn how to build the trust. You will learn how to be confident. You will learn communication. When I say communication, it is with the perspective of body language. Because like I said, they're nonverbal. And when you actually deal with them or train with them, you have to be firm. And there are specific aspects how you need to be in front of the animals, larger animals especially. So those are some of the things, specifically on communication part you learn. And so when you practice this every day, it will become a habitual to you. And by default and by design, you start behaving the same way with other humans. And you will start gauging every human's personality, and then accordingly you will start communicating. In turn, your career growth might be, or your different kinds of communication skills will be improving. So there are many aspects and many beneficial aspects with working with animals. These are very few which I'm giving you.
Okay, so when we speak about treating with the animals, of course, the patient is not aware. What are some techniques you would like to, share with our viewers that, see, honestly, people are scared of animals. Okay, they're scared of even insects.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest? What is how do you fight that fear, in human beings when they come to you?
So our techniques is not something as soon as patient comes in, we just leave them in front of the animals. We have multiple sessions based on the stress level what they have. Accordingly, we suggest and advise them how to take it ahead. So initially, we don't leave them in front of animals. We tell them how to behave in front of the animals and how to be around with the animals, because they are larger animals and unintentionally they might run over you, or it's completely unintentional. But we as a human, we need to be a little careful. We give them all these knowledge in the first session. And second session, we give them grounding session so that they're completely de-stressed and they're ready to be going in front of the animal. Because being in front of the animal, one, you will learn to be mindfulness and present in the moment. That is something which you need to be learning, and that automatically comes. But before getting, especially when people who are not animal lovers, these exercises are very, very important before introducing any animals. So these are some of the small tips which we take.
So that is a great takeaway, and a big shout out to all the psychologists and the psychiatrists and the mental well-being professionals, that in case you are not able to heal loneliness and depression in particular kind, of course you are medicating them, we understand. So get in touch with Arun. He's giving away some great therapies. Coming back to you, Arun, tell us about pet home boarding. What are the different kind of services you're offering over there? I've seen your farm is beautiful. So let's hear.
So our boarding concept is cage-free boarding. I have made different rooms which are big enough for multiple dogs to stay there. So based on the temperament of the dogs, I create the groups. So our main motto or reason behind running this boarding is to every dog to have the dog life. There are many dogs who are anxious or aggressive and they don't want to mingle with any other dogs. But our concept is try or train every dog to get along with their friends so that they can enjoy the vacation. Our tagline says, pets need vacation too, while your parents are having it. So why can't animals also can't have their vacation? So that is the main concept. So it's a cage-free boarding. I have my techniques to introduce every pet as soon as they come into the boarding. And once I introduce them, they will stay in one specific room. There can be 5 or 6 dogs maximum in one room. And then I assign the specific garden for them to play. But if there are any aggressive dogs, unfriendly dogs, even after the training, if they don't want to be with other dogs, you just have to respect their space. They get separate room and a separate garden. Only human will be interacting with them, but not with the dogs. So that is one of the reason why pet parents like us, because they want their dog to be a dog.
Okay, this is nice. Coming to your entrepreneurial journey, okay, you have, I think it was the first time in my life that I saw the Gir cow, the Desi cow at your farm. We've heard a lot about it, but actually experiencing it is a different concept. And I want to tell all my viewers, he treated us with the most amazing matha I've never had in my life. So, कैसे करते हो आप ये जो आप घी बना रहे हो, that is totally organic and I saw it so beautiful to look at it. So tell us more about it. How did you get the cows to the farm?
All right. Well, so because we had all kinds of animals, one of my well-wisher also said, why don't you have cow and then do the seva? I said, yes, any kind of animals, we don't have any kind of bifurcation or discrimination we need to have. And I also thought that we will have our own milk and it will be more healthy. But when I started researching about Desi cow, our indigenous cow, because I was very, very particular to have our own indigenous cow rather than having the international breeds. So when I did the research, the most easiest available was Gir cow. And Gir cow, the origination is from Gujarat. And they can take any kind of temperature in India and they are survivors. So when I started researching about them, I understood that Gir cow, especially Gir breed, they don't want to stay alone and they can't survive alone. They can actually die. They need a herd. They need a family of 2-3 cows, 2-3 calves. Because we wanted to have one cow and we ended up going for 3 cows just because of the reason of having a family for the cows. And that's how our journey started. Now, because we can't consume the entire milk or butter and ghee and everything, so I make the buttermilk which you had. I do it every day and I take out the butter and I make the ghee personally. So now because we have excess, now we wanted to spread it across to our closed ones and whoever wants to have it.
Okay, so I understand, I've never seen a human being who's doing so much of seva. Because I'm sure you must be having a lot of challenges. पैसे भी बहुत लगते हैं. कोई आसान नहीं होता किसी भी चीज को पालना, So tell us about what are the difficulties that you face?
Right now, to be honest, pet home boarding and my salary is running the entire show. So currently, the food what we procure for cows and horses, they are very expensive because I'm very, very particular about food when it comes to food. So the food is very expensive and the payroll to take care of them is very expensive. But it is what it is. You have to. When you have animals, you have to. But I'm sure when you're taking care of the animals, they are the ones also who's taking care of us. And we never had a intuition or a fair dream in our entire life that we will be in the farm. So because of animals, we are in this farm and in this age, which will be a dream for most of them. If that is happening, then everything will happen automatically.
And that's a very spiritually well-framed answer that I got from you, Arun. Are you looking for funding?
I'm not really looking for funding. I'm a person who doesn't believe in funds. I am a person who believes in do what you're supposed to, take my services and pay for it. So I want to earn my own money. That's when, if I'm running an NGO, definitely yes. But I don't have any concept as of right now. But any animals, if I'm taking benefits from my animals, I'm improving my emotional, regulations. If I'm building my confidence, I'm building my leadership. I want everybody to have the same kind of benefit and pay for it. And I want to earn with what I have.
And absolutely, and guys, this is totally experiential. You have to go to the farm. You have to experience the way he's kept those animals out there. It's very difficult to call them animals because they are like babies. It actually treats them like. Before we started this show, there he got a call from his farm that one of his babies has around 105 fever, and he's been little, I would say his thoughts are there and he's here with us. But this is absolutely amazing, and this is a great takeaway, Arun. इंसान की कदर नहीं करता यहाँ इस दुनिया में, and you are being so kind and so blessed. I think you are the chosen one for doing this kind of a seva. So what has been your success mantra? Why did you have this feeling in you? When did you have this feeling in you that this will click?
My success mantra, I would say, be empathetic and be kind. You do your work, and I mean, if you're going behind the money, you might be success or you might not be success. But if you do what you're supposed to do with full-heartedly, money comes, searching of you. So that's my mantra. Like I said, I am not running any commercial, aspects here. My horses, we are very possessive about our animals because our animals consider us as one of their herd. And that's how I want to keep it, including dogs, everyone. So I am not running any riding school or as such, and I don't want to also, and I don't want anybody to ride my horses. But at the same time, if I'm getting all those benefits of having, my personality improvements, I definitely want everybody to experience it and gain the benefit out of it. And if that is helping me to feed my horses and to take care of the entire farm, why not?
So I want you to tell us about that male horse that you have. His name, I've forgotten his name. Bhairava. So I wanted to say, because there were some great lessons you were sharing the other day on leadership, and I think you've rescued him from somewhere.
Yeah, most of them are kind of rescued.
Okay, so tell us more about that.
The rescue one, or
about Bhairava, about the leadership lessons you've learned from him.
Okay. There are many human, people, especially they will be interacting in their corporate life, and they are struggling to develop their leadership skills. It can be, like I said, communication skills or talking to people, socialization skills, building trust, and getting the work done with by team and stuff like that. So when you are around the horses, when you train them, you have different kinds of horses with the different kinds of personalities. Especially when you're in front of the horses reflect exactly your emotions. Like I was saying, if you want to be around them, you need to be calm. And if you are coming with an aggressive vibration, they will not come to you. They will just back off, or they will show the irritation. You can see the facial expression. So all these kinds of things, and I can give you the classical example. My partner, Asha, when she tries to ride Bhairava, he is very calm and he is very scared, and he only trots or walks because sometimes she is scared because of the height and stuff like that. She's learning horse riding, and I'm also learning horse riding. So when she sits, he is calm and a little nervous, walks, and whenever she gives the command to trot, then he trots. But when I go, as soon as I sit on him, he doesn't even walk. He doesn't even trot. He directly canters. And I sit and enjoy it. Why? Because I go with a mindset that if I'm falling, I don't care because I'm falling in the mud. But Asha going with a fear, if I fall, then it'll be a problem. So I don't care about it. So he reflects my vibration and energy. The moment I sit on him, he canters, and I enjoy it. He enjoys. So that's one of the classical example which I would want to give everyone. So when you're training all the horses, one, you need to be mindful. You need to be present in the moment, and your body language, the affirmations, and the training way, it all depends on how you train them. So when you're training them, these lessons, if you're more calm, the horses will come to you. They will allow you to touch. So the same concept, when you implement in your human life, in your corporate life, you have different personalities in your team. You have different personalities in your management, leadership. So you cannot be having the same kind of personality and talk to everybody, because people might like you, people might like you. But when you try to understand their different personalities and work towards them, your working relationship will be amazing, and you will definitely get what you deserve. So this is a very small example which I'm giving. So there are many things which you can learn being around animals and implement in your daily life, in your corporate culture or within your family. And having horses or any kind of animals, your family dynamics will change. You will start your behavioral aspects will change, the way you talk to your partners or your family, because you're practicing being with your animals and training them. While you're training, you're becoming calmer, you're removing all your stress and stuff like that. The same attitude, you take it to your family and then behave with them. In turn, you get the love what you are deserving with your family also.
This is absolutely right what you're saying. Honestly, if you have a pet in your home, maybe just a small dog,
Yeah.
the environment and the vibration of the home is more peaceful and
Yes.
and it's more loving. Because वो जितनी भी लड़ाई होनी होती है घर में, वो पहले तो वो डॉग के ऊपर ही और अपने बच्चे के ऊपर ही प्यार आ जाता है.
That's right.
You know, I've had friends in my house जो हमारे बेबी को ही बुरी तरीके से बोलते हैं. Believe me, Arun, they've not come back to my house. जिस दिन आके हमने आज तक कभी भी अपने बच्चे को घर में बांधा नहीं है. You know, never. And if any of the friends who come and they say कि इसको पहले बांधो, इसको पे, that's how this thing, they're scared. इसको बांध दो. They've never come back to our home. The closest of the friends. Now I know why this happens.
Think about it. Now, with the growing city, right, you have the entire city has become concrete jungle. But this place was a habitat for many animals. Now you have acquired their habitat, and now animals, now humans doesn't want animals to be in the house. They feel that it's very allergic, and they don't want to touch any dogs, any animals. Why?
Coming back to pet home boarding, there would be different kind of breeds in your. How do you maintain hygiene? All babies have different kind of food requirements. Some are on the dog food, some don't like to eat. They also have skin problems. So, and what kind of vets are visiting you? Let's hear about that.
The basic requirement what we have is from the pet parents. Whenever there is a boarding request, they will fill the form and upload their vaccination records. And they will give the entire details of any kinds of skin infections or any kind of medicines which are getting into the dog's body. So after reviewing the form, I select or I approve or I reject based on the information. Sometimes there are many times where I take up a call with the pet owners and understand what kind of infections they have. Why have we given so many medicines and stuff like that? If it is a genuine case, definitely we will take them, and we have cases where we have taken dogs and we give them medicines every day as per the schedule. As far as the hygiene is concerned, so we have dog friendly, which are chemical free floor cleaners and all those cleaning supplies. So we clean the entire boarding 3 times a day. Because we give 3 times food, morning and evening, and afternoon we give them buttermilk from our own farm. Especially in this summer, they need that buttermilk to keep their tummy smooth. So as and when we give the food, we keep cleaning them. And there are many pets who are not trained at their home. As soon as they come to boarding, they pee. Because they have the territorial issue. They try to mark their territory. So we have to take those, tantrums or behavior of the dogs. We get them cleaned up immediately. And like I was saying, I have CCTVs all over farm. We keep watching and we keep looking into the boarding because we keep interacting with all the dogs. So as and when there is any dog peeing or pooping, so we get them cleaned up. We try to maintain as much as possible the hygiene level of the boarding. Like I said, we don't use any chemical-based essentials. We use only chemical-free and which are dog-friendly. And we use that. And from the food perspective, every dog has its own choice. But most of the dogs, at least I would say 7 out of 10 dogs, they have a staple food, which are chicken, rice, and veggies. And that's what we give. So we freshly cook these food twice a day, morning and early morning and late evening. This is what we give. But there are pets who doesn't want to eat this food. They have their rotis, eggs, or paneer. Some dogs, they come, their owners, they specifically say, मेरा dog जो है वो देसी घी खाता है, वो देसी घी के साथ, वो देसी घी के बिना वो खाएगा ही नहीं. तो we make rotis for those dogs, फिर देसी घी उसके ऊपर डाल के then we give them and then they happily eat it. But as long as it's not a dry kibble, we can give or we can customize any food we want. If it is a dry kibble, then we request pet owners to drop the food.
How do you handle crisis? For example, if a pet gets unwell in your boarding, so what kind of vets are visiting? What kind of doctors are coming over? Let's hear about that.
Sure. So major concern what usually we get is one, fever, any kind of skin infection, or majorly gastric. And gastric is basically because of the summer, acidity and stuff like that. So we will have our general medicines, which we have learned from veterinary clinics and stuff like that. So we give those medicines as a first aid, but it doesn't mean that we don't take them to the doctor. But till the time doctor on call comes in or we take them to the doctor, we need to do our first aid. So because of that, I even have oxygen masks and everything, just to be more, to take more precautions. General medicines, we give them first and then we call the doctors and take an appointment immediately. We rush to the doctors. But usually what happens is, fever, and which is a normal thing, and we bathe them and then give the general medicine and that will be fixed. Mm-hmm. But if it is a gastric, that is something which we need to be really quick, and then we take them to the doctor and get the medication done there, and we inform the pet parents immediately.
Absolutely wonderful. Okay, Arun, let's do your rapid fire funny round. What's the funniest thing a horse or a cow has ever done during a therapy session?
That's a very interesting question. So I don't know if you met Vajra. I think you met.
Yeah.
Vajra, she came to our life when she was 9 months old. Other two, they were adult and they have seen the entire world. And for her, we are the entire world, and I have raised her like a dog, big dog. I have taught her doggy tricks like shake hand, kiss, hug, scratching the floor. So she's one mischievous girl, and she's a pure entertainer. So anybody comes in there, first she looks into your hand whether you have treats or not. If she sees that you don't have, she tries to come and impress you by forcefully kissing you, hugging you, by giving the handshake and everything. But when you don't have, and when she doesn't see any treat, she literally gives a kind of expression, literally, जैसे what do you say, वो specific word नहीं मिल रहा मुझे, tantrum, नौटंकी को क्या बोलते हैं?
नौटंकी बोलते हैं.
नौटंकी बोल दूं मैं? नौटंकी बोल दूं? हाँ, नौटंकी बोल दूं? हाँ, वो जब उसको पता चलता है कि you don't have treat, वो प्योर नौटंकीपन आपको दिखेगा उस टाइम कि तुमने मेरे पास बिना ट्रीट कैसे आ गई? Then she just shows her face. You can literally see her facial expression, and then she walks away. So that is one of the funniest thing which has happened, and people were asking me कि why is she doing all this? वो तो मेरे मुंह पे चिपका के बैठी है कि what is she trying to do? मैंने कहा वो तो तुम्हें impress कर रही है, and she needs treat. That's what she's looking for.
Oh,
so that was
wonderful.
One of the.
Okay, so have you ever had an animal that was particularly mischievous or had a unique personality? It could be a cow or maybe a horse or a dog.
My elder dog, Sniffy, who is a pug. He behaves, he is 15-year-old currently, and he is healthy and sound. Even today, he acts like an army person. Especially, I don't know why that name, Sniffy, suits him so very well. He can sniff anything in this world which is related to the food. And especially, he has this timing, and his mind works like an alarm. मॉर्निंग एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम होता है एंड इवनिंग एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम होता है जब उसका डिनर जाता है, एंड उसके 1 घंटे पहले एग्जैक्टली ही वेक्स अप एंड ही स्टार्ट्स फॉलोइंग अप विद यू, एंड ही शोज फेसेस. अगर 2 मिनट में अगर आपका अटेंशन उसके पास नहीं गया, he will literally tell you, are you going to feed me or do you want me to pee in front of you? And he does pee in front of me if you don't give food.
Oh.
And as soon as you feed him, he is in his corner with a sound sleep. अब ये अलार्म कैसे पता चलता है, I don't have a clue, but he does literally.
Okay. So if your therapy animals could talk, what do you think they'd say about their jobs?
I'm not sure how they look these jobs, but to me, if I were an animal, or what I think is, there are many. Yeah,
I never thought like that you could be an.
of course.
Okay.
So, what I think is, in this animal industry, especially larger animal industry, they keep moving from place to place because owners keep selling them for commercial aspects. But now, I don't know why I feel, I have a gut feeling, strong feeling that my animal, they have clearly understood that this is their final home, because they're not going to go anywhere from this home, and they have considered me as their herd. Now they do boss on me. I'm not their boss. So they literally say, if you have treats, come to me. Then I'll do my job. If you don't have treats, don't come to me.
I'm sure. So what's a common misconception people have about animals like horses and cows that you'd like to clear up?
I would like to give a clear example, live examples, especially with cows. So in these commercial industries, after certain age, especially male calf, they abandon on roads because they don't have any kind of commercial benefits from them. They abandon. And cows, especially who are probably who has diseases or who cannot be pregnant again, who cannot deliver babies, they just abandon. So why? I mean, there are many humans, especially once in a year, जब कोई occasion आता है, कोई festival आता है, कोई स्पेशली जो आपका क्या बोलते हैं पंडित, आपका जो पंडित है, ही विल से कि आपको ये कष्ट है तो गाय को ये रोटी खिला देना, और ये काले कुत्ते को बिस्किट खिला देना, आपका सारा निकल जाएगा. And that one day, especially on those festivals, there are several humans who feed cows with rotis, chawal, पता नहीं क्या क्या खिलाते हैं, and they don't understand their digestion system. उसके बाद क्योंकि वो गाय तो they are very hungry, वो तो खा लेते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद जो वो they go through, that is really hell. So this misconception, especially with humans who doesn't have any guidelines or any idea about animals, you learn and you feed them, but regularly feed them right food. And एक दिन आप खिलाने से आपका पाप नहीं धोएगा. आप एवरीडे करो, पाप के बारे में छोड़ दो, अपने आप सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. बट टेक केयर ऑफ animals will take care of you.
That's a great takeaway. Let's be a little mindful. आप कच्चा दाल खाओगे, आप जाके गाय को खिला रहे हो, जरूर खिलाओ, पर वो खिलाओ जो गाय खाना चाहती हो. So this is a very, very beautiful point that you've put across through this podcast. कि एक दिन जाके तो आप क्या उसको मिठाई भी खिला दोगे, लड्डू भी खिला दोगे. It's so harmful for them. And people, I think, lack basic sense over there. Just because a pandit has said that. We are not trying to, guide you wrong कि आप superstitious मत हो या आप religious मत हो. आप सब हो. लेकिन आप ये सोच के हो कि दूसरे पे क्या बीत रही है. This is what Arun is trying to put across. Okay, Arun, can you share a memorable moment where an animal helped someone overcome their fear in a very surprising way?
I can give you my own example because I don't want to give anybody's specific examples. I have the fear of losing my family members or losing my closed ones. Because of that, I behave very decent and I would not say decent. I try to maintain a decorum where अगर उन्होंने कुछ मुझे बोल दिया तब भी मुझे बुरा भी लग रहा है, but I don't say anything. I keep it to myself, just with the fear of losing them. अगर कुछ बुरा बोल दूंगा या if I am more aggressive on them, they might leave me. But this was the biggest fear from my side. I learned and then I let it go because of my animals. Because you know what? When I am angry, they don't come to me. When I am calm, they come to me. And when I'm irritating them, they literally come to bite me. And bite me in the sense, it's like play bite. Ki don't, I am in a frustration mode, so please don't come and frustrate me even more. So they walk away. But within next minute, they come and then they show unconditional love. So this is something which I clearly understood, and there were a couple of examples which I have gone through in my daily life. So in this conversation or in this process, I've clearly understood, don't keep it to yourself just because you have the fear of losing your closed ones. Express yourself, be yourself. अगर आपको चिल्लाना है just because they have done something wrong, आप चिल्लाओ. Next minute, just show that you actually love, because of that you yelled at them. You show them the affection and you will not lose anybody. This was the biggest fear I had, which I have let it go now.
So somebody who can look good, who can ride a horse, tame a horse, look after the cows, also help dogs survive with lot of happiness, also heal people through his therapies. He's the guy, Arun Shivakumar. Get in touch with him. His details are available on the podcast and his number is also available on the post. Arun, आपका बहुत बहुत thanks है कि आप आए.
Thank you so much, Rashi. I think you are doing a great job. Because of your podcast, people are getting awareness, and you're one of the biggest medium of through the podcast where people like us reach out to many audiences and spread love and awareness about animals. And I'm hopeful that everybody will be able to connect what we have spoken in this podcast. And I'm really thankful for you to for making me a part of your journey.
Thank you so much.